In this edition of Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader, we will break down the UVU camera problem. So let me ask you this. How exactly does a camera that's mounted on the top of a building follow a suspect and turn almost 180 degrees to follow a suspect that's jumping off a roof, running through a parking lot, and then into the woods, unless someone's controlling it? When asked if someone was watching that camera feed live, UVU declined to respond, which is pretty strange. You would think that during a very large event like the Charlie Kirk thing, that someone would be actively monitoring those cameras and they would be open about it. It would be able to tell you, but not in this case. So most campuses like UVU used fixed security cameras. They record 24/7, but they don't move. They don't pan. So it's not to say that you can't zoom after the fact. Of course you can. But you can't turn the lens all the way around hours later. So it might be a different story if it wasn't mounted on the top of a building. If it was a smaller camera in a parking garage, yes, those cameras might be AI enabled to follow and identify humans. But this is a camera on the top of a building of a very busy college campus. UVU looks like a pretty nice modern campus. I don't think that they have cameras that were built in 1983, but that's what you would think when you see the photographs that we got. A fully pixelated face that could be anybody, and then this far off view of this ninja jumping off a 15-foot roof. And that's all we got. So the answer is yes, there are PTZ cameras that will follow movement, that will identify humans and follow them, but that is not the type of camera that you're going to mount on the top of a busy campus building, ever. Furthermore, universities do not enable full person tracking due to privacy concerns, so that's out. So we can conclude that someone was monitoring these cameras, did pan and zoom to follow the suspect into the woods. So that would mean that first responders knew exactly where the suspect was, and somehow he made it out of that neighborhood in under 4 minutes before they arrived. So there's really only two options here. Either there was a controller in the security room that panned and zoomed in on the suspect, or this footage came from somewhere else. It could be from a federal or law enforcement feed, but why would they set up a camera feed if they didn't even put security at the event? So as you watch that footage again, think about it. The camera did not turn itself around. Someone was monitoring this. Someone was zooming in. And then why was the suspect not caught?